Hello everyone, I am Arvus and welcome to Magna Mundi. Rubik asked me to make a short video about the game and I'm going to show you some minutes of gameplay. So here I am playing as Portugal, and the first thing I'm going to do is to adjust my budget. So here in the budget screen, the first thing I do is to adjust my treasury slider. That is the part of the income that exists in the economy that will go directly into my coffers. Next, I'm going to distribute the wealth that the economy generates according to the several five factions. Starting with the commoners. The commoners are powerless, and so I'm going to give them 0 money, because they don't have enough power to rebel against me, and I don't need a powerful commoners faction. Then I have the traders, and because Portugal is going to become a very strong, powerful trading nation, I want to favor the traders. I want them to play a larger role within my country, and so I'm going to increase the wealth that belongs to them in the economy. Next I have the religious faction, and the religious faction is neutral and unremarkable in terms of influence. And I don't want to make the religious faction any stronger, but I also don't want to antagonize them. So I'm going to leave their slider around here. Then I have the nobility faction, and notice that they are influential. So they are the strongest faction within my country, and I don't want them as enemies. But at the same time, I want them to start losing some influence, because I don't want them to be so strong as they are now. So I'm going to leave the slider here, where they will gain a little bit of alignments, and they might lose a little bit of influence. Finally, I have the military faction, and the military faction is not very relevant to me, so I'm going to leave them around here, so they are more or less neutral towards me. And the rest of the money will be invested in stability, which seems good. So now this is the first time I'm adjusting the budget slider, and I can only readjust the budget slider again in 2 years. So each time I adjust the budget slider, it has to be a very careful decision. So next I have the personnel interface, and this shows my advisors, my generals and admirals. Right now I only have one general, that is the ruler of the country, and one admiral. Next I'm going to recruit more generals and admirals, because I'm going to war against Morocco. Here we have global directives and religious decisions. And for the global directives, I'm going to enact the exploration of the spice route. The spice route is the sea trade route to India. It's the historical course of Portugal, and I'm going to take it because it will reveal access to India, and it will give me nice trading bonus for getting there. There are also the decisions regarding migration, regarding naval warfare academies and land warfare academies, and piracy plans. And here I have the religious decisions, but I can't enact any of them at a time. Next I have corruption and policies. So corruption are decisions that I can take that will give me short-term advantages at the expense of long-term disadvantages. And because I am a very honorable person, I will not take any of them. But there are events during the game that will require you sometimes to pay with corruption to avoid paying with gold, for example, or pay with corruption to avoid a stability hit, or any other case. Regarding policies, I'm going to push towards centralization. And finally we have the merchant marine, and the merchant marine is very important for Portugal, because Portugal has many coastal provinces, so it depends a lot from trade income that comes from the seas, and so the merchant marine factor is very important. As you can see, the merchant marine dependency of Portugal is about 82%. That is a very high number. And the merchant marine can be negatively affected by war and by piracy and by other kinds of events, and the merchant marine will replenish over time. So I'm going to give myself some cash because I want to show you some things around, and because time is short, I'm going to make the best of it. So I'm starting to build a few more buildings. For example, here in Porto, I'm going to build a trade building. This will increase the trade value of the province. And here in Ceuta, I'm going to build a fortification, both to protect against rebels and against the Moors. Finally, in Algarve, I want a port. I want to expand my port. So now I'm going to start running the game, and I'm going to show you a bit of the several map modes. So this is Europe at the start date. We can see here in the relations screen, it shows quickly which countries are neutral, which countries are friendly, which countries are hostile towards you. It's a screen where it's very easy to see the relations of all countries at a time. Next we have the diplomatic agreement screen, and this screen shows the provinces where you have cores, the provinces that are the countries that are your vassals, your enemies, and your allies. We have there the example of France, of the Ottoman Empire, of Hungary, of Poland, etc. Next we have the influence screen, and this map mode shows more or less the spheres of influence that each country has. So each country has a very high influence within its own provinces and also with the neighboring provinces. And influence can be used to build foreign buildings and to enact certain decisions that otherwise you couldn't. Notice here that the Ottoman Empire has very high influence within Turkish Muslim provinces, but these provinces are Orthodox, and so the Ottoman Empire has not as much influence there as it has in Muslim provinces. Next we have the administration map mode, and this shows which provinces require higher administration levels, higher administration needs. So you can see, for example, here in Turkey, you can see that Muslim Turkish provinces have very low administrative needs, but Bulgarian Orthodox provinces have very high administration needs. Then we have the trade map mode. You can see here, this whole region trades through Venice, this region trades to Genova, this region trades to Andalusia, Paris, London, etc. Then we have the religious map mode. You can see Catholic Europe, Muslim North Africa, Orthodox Eastern Europe. Then we have the cultures map mode. It shows all the cultures in Europe at the time. And the regions map mode, it shows the geographical regions of Europe. And geographical regions may be important to recruit special units or for special types of decisions and events. Then we have the war map mode, and this shows the war exhaustion levels of countries that are at war. Here we have the naval map mode. It shows very quickly which provinces are being affected by piracy. For example, here there is uncontrolled piracy, and here there is tightly controlled piracy. So you can see very quickly which provinces are being affected by piracy, and you can take actions to fight piracy. So finally, I'm going to prepare to war against Morocco, and the first thing I'm going to do is to recruit some units. So I'm starting by recruiting some light cavalry regiments, about 3 light cavalry regiments, and I want to bring light cavalry and light infantry because the terrain in Morocco is very arid and mountainous, and so light type units are suffer less attrition from the terrain. And now I'm going to start moving my troops, and I have to split them in regiments, in armies of 2 regiments, because navies have limited capacity. As you can see here, the capacity is only 2 regiments. So I'm going to have to make several voyages to Ceuta to carry all of my armies there. I also need to recruit one admiral and one general. Just take notice that here I have 5 anchors, and this means that this province is very good to recruit admirals because it has a nautical school and a naval academy, and those buildings are very increase the experience level of admirals recruited in this province. In contrast, for generals, I have no stars, so it's irrelevant where I recruit my generals because I don't have a province with a special type building that allows me to recruit high quality generals. So right now the process of carrying troops to Morocco will be a little bit long, and so I'm going to skip this part right into the action. I am now ready to declare war against Morocco. I have here 2 armies with a total of 10,000 men. Guilherme Menezes is a sharpshooter, a coward and patriotic general, and the other army is led by Afonso V, my own ruler. And here I have my 2 navies blockading the whole coast of Morocco. This one is led by Diogo Gomes, which is my original admiral, and the other one is led by Jaime da Gama, which is a sharpshooter. So I'm finally going to declare war. I'm calling England, and I want Tangier, so I'm going to push for Tangier. So just going to slow the game down, and I'm going to move to Tangier, and the provincial invasion I started. So as you can see, I brought 10,000 men against a garrison of 2,000 men. That is 5 times more than their defenses, and usually you should try to bring at least 3 times more the size of the garrison. So if you want to conquer a garrison with the size of 2,000, you need armies with a total size of 6,000 men. Here I have 10,000, so this will be more than enough to capture the province. In the meanwhile, you can see here the progression bar of the occupation going up and the garrison numbers going down. I'm just going to move a little bit faster. And in the meanwhile, you can read here what is happening in battle. So right now they are at 800 men, and the garrison will soon surrender, and end of provincial occupation. So I have finally conquered Tangier. Next I'm now going to move things faster a bit, and I'm pressing towards Topkal. They have one army there, and I don't know their number, so this is a bit of a risk, but there you go. It's 9,000 men versus about 5,000. We are on the skirmish phase, and they move to try and retake my province. That shouldn't be a problem. And I'm now trying to invade Topkal. And there you go. I'm going to split my armies. And there, success. Now, I have conquered these 2 provinces, and I'm trying to press for peace. I want Tangier, but it appears they won't accept my request. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the war overview interface, and I'm going to enforce the conquest of Tangier. So as you can see, even though they didn't accept my request, because I controlled Tangier militarily and I had held it for long enough, I was able to enforce my claims. And with this, I can continue with the war without actually negotiating peace. And now I've also found out that they are blockading my promises. And this brings us to the end of this first preview. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more. See you!